touch like every corner. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you lie down, my ego don't come, my people make we shut down, my ego don't come, my ego don't come, man of the masses, my ego don't come, my ego die the political, my ego don't come, this one not they off in mind, my ego don't come, person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He do they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we not talk. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Mayegun don't come. My people make you shout. Mayegun don't come. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses. Mayegun don't come.
Hello there.
Làwọn mọ̀ làwọn dòdòdòdò. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwọn mọ̀ làwọn dòdòdòdò.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live. It is also Sunday sermon.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary.
Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are watching from. Remember, share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today is as simple as that. Thank you.
Mayegun diary, diary political. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹ́kọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ o, làwa mọ̀.
Listen to this.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
And we hope the two gas nations and the Emirates will be able to help us hope. And the largest economies that have benefited immensely to do more repass because the post they have need healing and is crying for attention more quickly. Thank you. That was Kolu's statement. Do you understand what I read at all? Do you? No? Share the broadcast.
And yes, we like you. Oh, Baba, and yes, we like you.
And we hope the two giant nations and the Emirates will be able to help us through. And the largest economies that have benefited immensely to do more very fast because their health needs healing and is crying for attention more quickly. Thank you very much.
Olubulaba Bala Blue, the city boy, tó ń jayé Davida Loka, ìwọ busy fighting tribal ethnic war. ayé ẹ ti bàjẹ́.
òpùrọ̀ olóṣèlú.
900 million trip. Ọmọ.
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnragì. ayé ẹ̀ súnragì. Máyégún ti dé.
Mo ti dé. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun live. And thank you if you have actually shared the broadcast. If you have done that, great. If you haven't, as you are joining, please do that first before things begin to get steamy and very hot in here. It is Sunday sermon, the first in December of 2023. And I want to talk to you. In fact, I want to talk to us again and as usual. You see, I believe from my own experience that Nigerians have one prejudice or another towards one another, no doubt. But over the years, it seemed that education was able to sort of manage that prejudices, and people are calling it diversity. It is like to say, oh, we know that we are different. We know we all come from everywhere and all of that stuff. That is what makes us this, makes us that, unique. In all those fables, right? Or fables about Nigeria, diversity. Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Ijo, Ishekiri, no Peter Pan, and all of that. Inside that diversity they want the world to see is buried deeper prejudices. Prejudices against one another. Hausa versus Fulani. Fulani versus Igbo. Igbo versus Yoruba. Yoruba versus this. And even within that bracket and those spaces, people still have prejudices towards one another. In Yoruba, in Hausa, in Fulani, in Kanuri, in all those places, you will still see inside prejudice. Anyway, just so you know that, in case if you have never really admitted to it, it's always there. But people said that after, long-term relationship, that the prejudice against one another seems to be dying down until politicians decided to bring them back up. Unfortunately, APC, Egbekegbe, rode on that. For those who remember Jonathan's time, Goodluck Jonathan isn't an Igbo man. Goodluck Jonathan is an Ijaw man. But when they came for him, it was easier for them to crucify him by just tagging him Igbo. You all know this story. But you see, what I actually want to talk about tonight, or why I want to talk to you tonight, is the fact that now, Nigeria, the division of Nigeria, or the divided Nigerians, so to say, is more pronounced now than ever. Nobody is pretending anymore. Everyone is taking off their masks now. You will see the Igbos, who are pretty much like could no longer hide their own prejudice against other tribes too. You will see the Yorubas, who can no longer hide, despite the education. Even some of them they are no longer living in Nigeria. But that prejudice that they have, which some of you have now publicly called hatred towards one another. But why I want to talk to you is that the fact that the division is more pronounced now, And everyone is just looking for any reason to lynch the other in all reality. But the problem is, if this sort of a new reality is general, I mean, the way some of you are carrying the, what do you call that thing again? That war chest. Tell me that name. You know that thing that you have to, armor. The way you are carrying the hammer of your ethnic supremacy, superiority, the way you are carrying it from Igbo land to Yoruba land to Hausa land, even Dara idea to Fulani and the rest of them, you will realize that your criminal leaders are not, they are not carrying the same prejudices against one another. Now we be the victims of their misrule. Now they get blood pressure, high blood pressure, trying to choke one another over who is bigger, who is smaller, who should go back to where, and who should stay where they are. And all of those useless supremacy ethnic battle. Have you not noticed that now the victims of misrule, victims of bad leadership, Nigerians, you are the ones who are tearing yourselves apart. But the rogues that have mortgaged not only your future.
In the time of poverty like this, the economic principle of Yusuf is what everybody should apply in his own lives. Eat little, save more. You don't know what is happening. Kese la nri lowo, makasakasa timbo. $1 was just 800 naira or thereabout a couple of months ago. Now $1 is over 1,000 naira. How much will it go? Nobody knows. Tori to nse falafulu. Ogba salary kilawa. Igberaga week. All gbera resanle láìpẹ́.
Shongbo. The criminals are united. But you, the victims of their misrule, are the ones who want to protect, I don't know, something you don't even have, something that is pretty much not yours, according to them. Abi, I'm coming back to you. So Kalu, who is currently in Dubai, took 1,411 people to go and discuss climate change. 90% of them, they have no business there. Somebody said 99% of them have no business there, including Kalu, who probably had no clue where he is. But there is something you should know. We have the report that apart from what you saw yesterday, their trip will consume 880 million naira for the times they will be there, including those who are living the life of their life. They were having both party. Can you even imagine that? Nigerians should endure. Their policies are bringing the changes and all of that. In Nigeria, poor country, where out of 1,411 people they took to Dubai to go and discuss climate change, 590 of them were sponsored by Tinubu's Nigeria's taxpayers, with taxpayers' money. And every one of those 400 and 90 or so people are going to get their own ESTA code. And according to their own RNG in Nigeria, every time any of these public official travels out of Nigeria on what they call the official official trip, they will be paid. Take a look at this. So a minister will get $900 extra code every day. If they are spending 5 days, a minister will take back to Nigeria $4,500. His ticket, his hotel, his everything is paid for. Okay, just go there, enjoy yourself, right? So just like that. And if you now have over nearly 500 of these paid for with your money, only for the Bulaba, Bala Blue, to do what it does best, just talk jargons. I played you a clip earlier, Abi. I didn't make any much sense. We'll come back to that as well. But I'll show you what Tinubu was actually, yapping. Nearly $1.2 million just to go and flex in Dubai. In January, they are going to Davos in Switzerland. That is going to be like another maybe $2 million. And there you are, fighting for. I will now stand and defend my people. I cannot let all these Igbo people come and take our land. You don't even get land. Some of you don't even get job. Some of you are saying you want to defend. What do you call it? You want to defend. Where do you want to defend? With empty stomach. Hungry, starving, suffering, smiling. Now, one by one, I'll come back to you.
Thank you very much. President of the COP28, thank you for providing this platform and managing it effectively well. John Kerry, Your Excellencies, and other distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Today, we welcome the effectiveness of your leadership that has given us the hope to sustain livelihood in the rest of the world. The earth has been injured, not by us mainly, by the big economies.
I'm so sorry. I should have warned you, okay? See, for those who probably are so serious that they want to listen to Kalu, listen to me. He's talking nonsense. She'll get gibberish. Absolute bollock. But it's going to sound like, at a point, it's like at the moment you will see, you hear him sounding like, okay, it's like he wants to make a statement. Okay. Then it's just going to go off. Once it goes off for like maybe 40 seconds, 50 seconds, then it's going to be like, oh, he's back on track. He's now talking about exactly what you expect him to talk about, climate change, Abi. Then it will just go down again. I should have warned you. I'm so sorry. Just don't sit down there with seriousness, and then suddenly feel like, what is he talking about? I don't understand again. I'm lost. He can begin to talk about kidney. From kidney, it can go straight to Mars. You will think he's talking about kidney, maybe body parts. It can jump from there straight to Mars or Pluto. And from Pluto, it can land in Akure. And then you'll be wondering, seriously. You're confused, right? I just thought I should prepare you. Okay, let's go back to it. And please, watch the reaction of that, what do you call it? That Sheikh Abi Lemomu, that one with Bilokis, what do you call it? All over his head. Because if you look at that one's head there, that one, you can know that it's moderate. It's not like the ones you will see in Nigeria. That one are bed sheet. Super size or king size bed sheet that they put on their head like that, right? This one maybe in a pillowcase. broadcast.
Thank you very much. President of the COP28, thank you for providing this platform and managing it effectively well. John Kerry, Your Excellencies, and other distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Today, we welcome the effectiveness of your leadership that has given us the hope to sustain livelihood in the rest of the world. The earth has been injured, not by us mainly, by the big economies. And I'm glad two of them are here. John Kerry and the China making pledges is very good. And we are with you. Even though we are the least beneficiary of what has happened. Sitting there hearing you, I know I have to commit ourselves. And we have been doing so before today. We are committed to critical steps to reduce methane emission by ensuring flood gas are eliminated. There's a huge penalty for that. There's equally a huge incentive to do so. The measures that we're taking here is a welcome development, no doubt about that. And we are with the leadership of UAE for the commitment so far. We are consolidating on the gas export, usage domestically and export for other countries. I can assure you that we will be partner in progress to achieve renewables. We are committed to energy mix. We are providing cooking gas for a large population. We will continue to do that. We've signed off on reduction of methane. We will leverage on new technology. And we hope the two giant nations and the Emirates will be able to help us through. What I know of Africa is the fact that the risk in additional investment and technological know-how, it is very necessary. And the largest economies that have benefited immensely should do more really fast, because the health needs healing and is crying for attention more quickly. Thank you very much.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
I warned you. And I have told you this before. Most of the time when I when I play any video of Tinubu, I don't expect anything sensible to come out of his mouth. Seriously. Even when they write it for him. Sure, you can tell he just doesn't have it. Okay? Now, for somebody like myself, you may judge me that, okay, maybe I have no respect. And I will accept. I say, okay, fine, that's good. But I am not an hypocrite. Now, all of us get eyes. Now, all of us get ears. And with what I see and with what I heard, Abba, I will not be an hypocrite to tell myself that that person gets something upstairs. A lot of you sat down there just now and you listen to all of that. What could you make out of it? At least some of you heard that they are making cooking gas for our people. They are cooking gas. During their Sharid election, they asked him about climate change. You know what he said about climate change? He said climate change is like church rats eating the Holy Communion. That's what he said. And he was like, they will have to give us money if they don't want us to cook with firewood. That's all he had to say. Now, that is the person that spent over 900 million naira to pack other Pangolo, Olori Korofo, Olori Ofifo, and others, pack them, put inside the plane. They wanted to go and talk about a reduction in emission. Sure, you know, it's about emitting gas. Anything where we say they work like engine, emitting gas, emitting all this carbon monoxide to cut it down. And those who went to Dubai for the climate change summit on how to reduce carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide emission, they all went there in their private jets. They used 3 big, what do you call it? Passenger airliners to pack all of those they took from Nigeria. Now, from Nigeria alone, more than 18 planes, 18 left for Dubai from Nigeria alone. There are governors who went with their own squad in their own private jets. There were some of these bankers too who went in their own private jets. Sure, you get. And others too who just went there for like, okay, yeah, we can, since they can sneak our names into the diplomatic tour. 1,411. They all flew in their private jets from America, from all over the world to Dubai to discuss how you should stop using firewood to cook, because the way you are doing it is causing the climate to change. And when the climate changed, what happened is that the weather is warmer. The weather that should be warm is warmer. When it should be really cold, it's colder. Or you know what I mean? Like when it should be snowing, it's not snowing enough, and it is because of your firewood. Right there in Ijebu, where now they take firewood, pack firewood inside the dogon, in order to cook our ibiripo. They send a horse. Then the guy who led them is speaking in tongue that those who were there were pretty much just trying to understand. What is he saying? Like, what is he really saying? Let's try to get him. They will comply. They will do what? He had no clue. And that is a country, that is actually begging.
And we hope the 2 giant nations and the Emirates will be able to help us through. And the largest economies that have benefited immensely to do more very fast, because their health needs healing and is crying for attention more quickly. Thank you very much.
Kolu. Now, that is someone, I mean, so far now, over 6 months, all of una are feeling it. Whether you are Igbo or you are Yoruba, whether you are Hausa, Fulani, or wherever you are, or wherever you are, everyone is feeling the bite. And the reason why you are feeling the bite is because you are not one of those privileged ones who are going to be living off the people's money for the next 4 years without doing anything. Although you are shouting APC, PDP, Labour, and all of that you are shouting. And however you see it right now, it doesn't really matter where you belong. Everybody belongs to one singular circle. I mean, put it this way, you have 2 circles. The circle of your oppressors and their, their lackeys. Then the rest of you in one corner. Whether you are PDP, APC, it doesn't matter. Whether you are not even involved in their politics. And when you take a good look at those who are perpetuating the fraud that has made life so hard for a lot of you, if you are not lying to yourself now, I'm talking to you, you will realize that the people behind all of this are people like you too, who speak the same language like you, who probably look pretty much like you, and they come from a place that you also associate with where you come from. You will see them very much involved in what has brought more division and all you are dealing with there today. But let me tell you something. Part of what I have also figured, poverty is a very, very sad thing. And one of the mistakes that we have made and we keep making is that a lot of us believes that poverty is when you are unable to afford something like food, shelter, clothing, or something you wanted to do. That's one, at least when you can no longer afford to feed yourself, you are at least considered poor. And people that are in this category, and there are millions, no doubt, you can say they are poor because they lack this or that. But there is another poverty that will continue to remind you of, and that is the poverty of the mind. You see, poverty of the mind is the fear of poverty itself. And the fear of poverty creates a sort of isolatory world where you have to isolate yourself and live with your fear, the fear that will continue to dictate your existence, and on and on and on like that. Here you get. But poverty of the mind is where you have people who tend to have money, a lot of money, but yet they exist in the midst of poverty that they created, as they have stolen the commonwealth of the people. Now, even though if they want to make themselves the lord of the manor, the lord over everyone, at least they must give something back. When you take from the people and you take it away, far away from them, they have no chance of benefiting from what you have taken from them. They have no job, they have no this, they have no that. But you could build yourself some palaces here and there, like a bird. Buy yourself different automobiles. Walk around so that people can actually lay themselves on the ground for you to walk over, to make yourself feel powerful and rich poverty of the mind. But what about those who did everything within their own legal mind and legal ways, and they managed to beat poverty? But the thinkings, the mindsets of a very, very poorly minded person is still much pronounced in their lives, where they believe somebody is coming for them. The world hates them. I mean, if you have been poor before, you probably have had such thoughts too. How come this or that couldn't help or support until you finally get to wherever you are? And whether you become human or inhuman, that's then going to be afterward, Abby. But when you talk about the consequences, now that's another part. The consequences of choices, which, I mean, if you are deceived into believing the ideology, like, the mindset, sort of where you believe that you are making a right decision. For example, I'm making a decision because I believe that some people are coming for me. Some are coming for what I have managed to kind of acquire, and the fear that makes you more defensive and all that. Then you begin to make decisions based on that. Decisions like when politicians see that loopholes. Decisions like, if we lose power, you are likely going to lose your what? You're going to lose your land, or you're going to lose your business, or you're going to lose what? Because you have been poor and you are still poor, even though you have, at least you have everything you usually pray for. Now you have everything. But your mind is still pretty much poor, in the sense that you feel like politicians who said others are coming for you, but not you directly. They are coming for them. And once they get them, they are coming for you. But because of that poverty mind, you accepted that. And then you started acting based on the, the conditioning, or of the politicians, Abi? Not knowing that being rich and being poor, they are more and beyond that material things that a lot of you acquire enough to probably become the lapdog of the criminal politicians, as you put them. Now, let me break it down for you. Tribalism, ethnicism. You see, normally tribalism should be something of, I don't think it should be something of a negativity to start with, except when the people, poorly minded people, become xenophobic about it. Okay? Oh, I love my tribe. Oh, I'm so proud of my ethnic nationality. Oh, I will defend everything about, you know what I mean? Like, those are things that are normal. Defending the virtue, your tradition, your culture, and every other thing that continue to give you pride as a human being. They are like, good stuff. But when politician fails and they turned you around, and they began to point fingers and said, listen, number one, you have no job. Number two, your economic standard has been so ruined and destroyed by these criminals and their greed. You are living in poverty and in squalor all over the country, not just in one sector of the Nigeria, all over the country. All of you are living in that. And these are due to the failure of the criminal politicians, no doubt. Okay? Then they turn around and they make you believe that your life could be better, but it is because of these people. Oh, it's because of that people. It's because of them that we have been unable to give you a good economy, create jobs, give you good standard of living. Remember, they failed. They've dumped you in poverty. Around that time, your mind is not yours anymore. It's not yours anymore. Majority of those who have been really hit with the Nigerian poverty, their mind is not theirs. And politicians know that. Now that they have failed, you have none of this. But they make you believe that you have to hate other people in order to defend what? Defend them or defend your poverty. Defend your health care. Defend your education system. Defend your infrastructure. Defend what exactly? So the bottom line is this. I showed you the first part where the criminals, and I will be showing you that every day as I get on them, okay? Where the criminals are lavishing your resources. You are not offended. If you are finding it difficult to pay your rent today, to feed, to pay your children's school fees, to pay your debts today, the reason is not far-fetched than these rogues. And when you look at them, you are going to see Yorubas there. You are going to see Igbos there. You are going to see Hausas there. And you're going to see everyone from like everywhere involved. You, the victim, you are now the ethnic champion. Tribal bigot. And I know that the bigotry today, as we said, that we call it prejudices. Prejudices is when we used to say things about ourselves before the APC, Egbekegbe, turned this into, what do you call it, Igbo versus, the rest of Nigeria versus the Igbos. And you see this Igbo versus Yoruba, Yoruba versus Igbos that you are seeing today, including the bigot from both sides, okay? It all started from 2013, 2012, 2013, 2014, and by 2015, it got them into power. Jonathan was presented as Igbo, and Igbos, who became the target of this APC, Egbekegbe, they are still alive. For those who are still alive among them, they will tell you. I think recently we have started seeing some of these young Igbos. They call it fighting back, propaganda for, what do you call it? Bigot for bigot. So bigotry right now, like I said, back in the days, all those, what do you call it? All those banters that we used to have, or we used to throw at ourselves when you call a Northern and Awusama, when you call them Aboki, Aboki is my friend, right? But today, if you call them Aboki, it is now a slur word. It's going to mean that you hate the Awusas or you hate the Northerners if you use that word today. So if you are an Igbo man today, if you decided to what do you call it? Call the Yorubas. What do you call Yorubas again? It's this thing they call Yorubas. I can't remember that right now. If you use that today, seriously, it will create almost a cyber war. And right now as well, you can now use the slur word and say, what do you call it, to attack the Igbos too. Now, you see all these words there. I don't want to kind of repeat some of them, or some of you probably know them. Nyamiri is the one that the northerners will call the Igbos. Abi, give me water. Do you get that? But if you say that right now, you're going to trigger an average Igbo person. And they are going to have to say theirs back. So what they are now saying is that it is going to be bigotry for bigotry. Now, since everybody wants to be bigots, that's no problem. You see, back in the days, it wasn't called it wasn't called a bigotry. Yeah, there are some Igbos that will call the Yorubas cowards. I don't know where that comes from. Some will call Yorubas betrayers. I don't know where that comes from. But when it is politically convenient, the victims of the victims of a failed leadership, failed system, the victims are champions of tribal, ethnic, what do you call it, bigotry now. But now all of una, they waste your energy on who is more bigoted and who is not. I have given you this simple solution. I've given us that many times. You see, for those of you who want to defend Yoruba land and send the Igbos back to the eastern Nigeria out of Yoruba land, number one, you don't even have the power to change the fortune, your fortune in Yoruba land. You don't. To those of you Igbos in your own bigotry, that says, what do you call it? Without you, there will be no, there will be no Lagos, so to say. In your bigotry, all of una no even get the power to influence the same development in eastern Nigeria. Now, let me explain that. That Lagos is the commercial capital of Nigeria today, the politically motivated commercial capital of Nigeria, today is not by any of you's making. Whether you are Igbo, okay, or you are Yoruba, or you are Hausa, or you are from any part of Nigeria. It is the creation. Lagos is the creation of the criminals in charge of Nigeria. And the development of that same Lagos, the political concentration of the economy of Nigeria in Lagos, which all of you should know that is deliberate. If not because of us, the Igbos, Lagos cannot be, no, shut up your mouth. You that is even talking, you probably have no single kiosk in that Lagos. But you are living in a pride of something you didn't create. If the political criminals of Nigeria decided that Calabar is going to be the commercial capital of Nigeria, you don't even have the power to change that. The Igbos or Igbo millionaires or billionaires who make their money in Lagos, they also understand this. That as much as they have that money, and they want to keep having that money, it will have to remain in that same place because they don't even have the power to pull it out once and take it away. None of you have that power. You have nothing. You have control over nothing. As for Yorubas, well, thank God you can say Lagos is in Yoruba land. But to whose benefit? What is that direct benefit to Yoruba land that Lagos is in Yoruba land? To you watching me right now. What is that direct benefit that you can say? It's not by your making. That's what I'm trying to tell you. None of this is by your making. Because if Nigeria is your creation, think about this. So, if Nigeria is our own creation, Nigeria would have been created by treaty. You know what is called a treaty? A treaty between all the nations that want to come together. Because you want to bring all your own resources and hand them over for your own use and the use of the rest of the country. There must be some agreement. There must be some understanding. But Nigeria didn't have that. Nigeria was just like a creation that we say, let this be, and it is. You have nothing around that. Do you think